Hello and welcome back to the RPG Academy podcast, Twitch channel, YouTube stream, all that kind of good stuff. My name is Michael. It's been a while. Unfortunately, life gets in the way sometimes, but I'm going to try to get back to this Final Fantasy playthrough that I started many months ago. This was like before the pandemic, before my kids were being homeschooled. Lots of stuff have happened that has caused me to get out of my routine. But if you were with us from the beginning, you know that we basically got to the end. We're at the last dungeon. We just need to get in there and win. Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure that I'm not high enough level to actually do that. So it's probably going to take some leveling up before we're going to be able to actually beat this game. But we'll see. We're going to jump into this final dungeon here, which is the original dungeon we started with, but now we're like, 2,000 years in the past, or we will be as soon as we hit this portal doohickey here. And then blah, 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 blah. Now we're 2,000 years in the past. I guess they did some remodeling in the last 2,000 years since none of this was here or there. I have been through this dungeon fairly recently, not like the last week, but within the last few months. But I don't really remember it. Excuse me. So part of this is just going to be trying to figure out how to get places. There's also a lot of this, really tough battles, which is good because I want to level up, but it's bad because it's going to really slow down progress. So let's see here. So I don't really know if this is the best use of this or not. But we'll see. Whoa, that's tough. So fortunately, Hulk is still pretty BA. He can just about take out anything with one hit. So, all right. So that was my goal, is I didn't want to have to go through again. So that worked out pretty well. Unfortunately, it took a lot of resources. So I'm going to have to use some magic here and bring everybody back up to full. All right, there we go. So I remember that on this first level, there's essentially two ways to go. And one of them doesn't take you further. It just is sort of like a dead end. And the other one is the way you actually have to go, which is quite long. And I don't remember which one's which, so we're just going to play around. Hello, the Foxblade. Welcome back. So sorry that this took so long to get back to this, but just been dealing with a lot of things at the house and my internet and all that kind of good stuff. So we actually, I don't know if this matters to anybody, but we, whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. We bought a Wi-Fi extender, and we have it upstairs in the hallway out here. Which has helped a little bit. So again, I'm dumb. I apologize. I'm on 5G now, which I think I'm the only one in the house that's on 5G. So I'm really not competing with anyone else. The signal strength isn't that great, but the speeds are as good wireless as on 5G as it was I was getting wired before. So I'm hoping that means I'll be able to stream pretty regularly. The kids are currently somewhat occupied, so they're not screaming, which could change at any second. So the plan is to try to get back to doing this, on the regs, but we'll see how that goes. So, and again, this has been a very long time. So I'm level 29. I think I need to be 32 at least, maybe even higher, before I can actually beat the game. So there's going to be just some going ins and out here and trying to level up. So I'm not too worried right now about going the right way. I just kind of want to explore a little bit and fight some stuff and hopefully not die. Welcome, Big Al. Thank you for popping in and saying hello as well. Again, it's been a very long time since I've done this. I've lost 80 pounds not since the last time we did this, but since I started this, I should say. So pretty excited about that. Though my hair is atrocious. I know no one cares. I'm an old dude. No one really cares about that. But I shaved my head not long after my surgery during the quarantine. And it was cool. It's all right. I didn't love it, but didn't hate it. Kind of glad I did it. Something I always wanted to do. But now it's growing back in, and it's just kind of just growing all in same place, like just like everywhere is the same length, and it just looks really funny. So I actually put product in my hair before I got on stream because I was a little embarrassed. So I gave it hopefully a little bit of shape. Yes, I am a little bit vain. Not too vain, but a little bit. Whew. Oh no. Well, that's unfortunate. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Yeah, but I'm not gonna too far into the game now to worry about that too much. So I'm just gonna deal with it. I don't like the fact that I'm now gonna have people who are vastly different levels, but just I don't think that's worth that much care right now. Oops. There we go. So we're just going to jump out and get her resurrected, do a heal up, and get back in there. Just keep going. So I just think I'm not quite high enough level to get all the way to the end and actually have a chance of winning right now. So I know the two people who I know are here because they've checked in on chat, or at least were here, know this already. But for anyone maybe watching, listening who doesn't follow me on Discord and such, I recently started watching Avatar: The Last Airbender. It's on Netflix. It's just a big hole in my nerddom. I just had never watched it before. And it was actually my youngest son, Jacob, came in one day, was just so excited about this new show he started watching. He just had to tell me all about it. And I knew about Avatar, but I just had never watched it. And it was Avatar. It's on Netflix now. And he was just over the moon about it. So I was like, okay, I'll watch it with you. So I started watching a couple episodes at a time. First season, I actually kind of didn't like it. First half of the first season, I should say. And the only reason I kept with it is because so many people I know and whose opinions I value were like, it's just the most amazing thing ever. So I stuck with it, and it definitely gets a lot better. Maybe not even fully halfway through season one, like maybe a third through season one. It turns around and gets really good. I'm really close to finishing season two. And I'm really, really liking it. Currently, my favorite character is Iroh. I just think he's the best. Maybe it's because I'm an old man now, and that's who I identify with. But I just really like Iroh. I think he's a good man trying to do the best he can in a bad situation. All right, so last time I went down here and to the right, I guess technically left, my right. But again, I said I don't remember exactly which way is the right way to go to actually try to beat this game, beat this level. So I'm just going to have to explore here and figure out. Okay, these Badman, who look a lot like Batman to me, are really kind of hard to kill. So I'm going to let Hulk here take them out one at a time, but I'm going to hope that maybe some of my items might help. And I'll just drop a nuke in here because why not? I'm not really trying to win the game right now. I'm just trying to level up, so there's no point not using my spells. So the Foxblade was in that's what he has heard as well, that there's a ramp up in quality. So, and it's weird. I don't know that it necessarily gets better in some ways. It changes focus. The storytelling gets a little bit more mature. I mean, obviously, I'm a 45-year-old dude watching a kids cartoon, but I didn't really like Aang right off the bat. I didn't like the way he was characterized. I really disliked Appa. I just thought Appa was dumb. And obviously that, grows on you. Now I love Appa, but just like, it just seemed like a silly kids cartoon, I guess. So maybe it is just the sort of the maturation of the way the story's told that gets a lot better. But yeah, it's really good. Once you get past, for me, that was 6-7 episodes that weren't great. I'm sure other people loved it from the get-go, and some people may not ever get to the point where they like it, but it took me a few episodes to really get it to it. But once I did, yeah, it's really good. You see, She-Ra's another one I probably should watch. I hear so many good things about it. My kids both watched it and they loved it. But like even back in the day, I loved He-Man, I was 12, 13 or whatever when that show originally came out. And She-Ra's okay. I didn't like, it's a girl, I hate it. I don't know, just the She-Ra version didn't do as much for me. So I don't have as much love for it as I do some other things. But I'm sure eventually I get around to it. But I am super excited about the new He-Man that is coming probably next year. It's supposedly like just a continuation of the original show. So I know that they did a couple newer versions. But this is like as if the original one never ended, just continuing that storyline on. But obviously it's going to be updated art and art style and writing, everything. And Kevin Smith, who I'm a big fan of, not everybody likes him, but I do, is the one who's sort of leading that effort. And their voice cast that is just incredible. So I'm pretty excited about that. It's by the same production company that does the new Castlevania show that's on Netflix. So I don't know if that's the art style, but that's the like level and quality of art we can expect. So after Avatar, I'm going to go back and finally finish The Magicians. I fell off early in season 5 once I heard it was canceled. Kind of just, I don't know, lost a little bit of interest knowing that it was going to end. Plus, it's nobody's fault, but when the main character, Quentin, can't remember the actual guy's name, left the show, just, I don't know, lost a little bit something for me. But I've heard it ends really well. Actually, I think it was the Foxblade who told me that I should stick with it. So I'm going to go back and finish that probably once Avatar's done. And then I'll be looking for another longer series to jump back into. So Foxblade, since you are there, how do I sound? I'm still playing around with the new setup, and I have my microphone kind of out of view, so I'm trying to keep it from being kind of in my face, but hopefully it's close enough because it's like right out of view. Is it picking me up well enough that, I don't sound distant or echoey? I'm also having a little bit of issue with this room now that I am up here, no longer in the basement. This room sounds just echoey to me, like just now talking, like I hear what feels like an echo of my voice just normal. So I was a little bit worried about how it is going to sound on the mic. All right, well, Foxblade gives it a thumbs up, so that's cool. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. All right, so again, I don't actually know where I'm going, so keep that in mind. Okay, it looks like this is where we're going. Okay. So, I mean, yeah, I just, as long, probably the two biggest things I was worried about is sounding distant, because I have the microphone a little further from my face than I normally do, and echo, because I can hear just a little bit of an echo, but it's possible that the mic just isn't picking that up. So if you're not hearing it, then it's probably okay. Okay, so looks like we might be in the correct path to actually beating the level. I'm not exactly sure. I had gotten out a different mic, a lapel mic I used for a couple episodes, and it just has a different quality than the one I have here. And it sounded okay, but I overall didn't like it that much. So I'm switching back to this actual better microphone, but it's just a little bit more unwieldy. So like right now I have it out of view, and for playing the game, it's actually not bad. But like if I was trying to run a role-playing game, I would be like reaching over and around and trying to get to stuff. So I've ordered a new mic stand that's a small one that hopefully will basically be able to allow me to use my arms to do things, keeping the microphone kind of where it is now, but also keeping it out of view. Or, if it was a little bit up here, I really wouldn't mind. I'm trying to, I don't know. It just seems like all the people I watch that are, very successful at doing this sort of stuff, you can see their face. Personally, I kind of think that might be detrimental for me, but, we'll see. Mage. So I think what I want to do, because I still want to try to keep these episodes to like half hour, 45 minutes, somewhere in there, is I'll probably go until I level, and then that'll probably be it. And so there'll probably be 3 or 4 episodes where that happens. We'll see how long that takes. I know I mentioned this before, and I probably should have been doing it, but I didn't, is I could just do some off-air playing and just level grinding, get up to level 32 or so, and then actually try to win the game that way. So we'll see how long it takes. As I'm just now getting back into things, it's probably not a bad idea to just have a few episodes that are me just, grinding a little bit. And hopefully I'm still not that far away from beating this game. Oh, I didn't notice Cap was in such a bad shape. Should be probably talking less, paying attention more. But still trying to decide what my next game is going to be. Again, I'm leaning heavily to Zelda, just because I think I could beat that in a couple episodes. And then maybe going on to the original Metroid, something like that. Let's see where we're at. So 13,000. Unfortunately, that means one just... Oh, that's weird. I guess I already had them further apart than I realized. So, all right. So we're actually not that far from leveling 2 of our people, and just a little bit further from the other ones. Pardon me. So I ran a one shot of the Star Trek game earlier this week. Star Trek Adventure, the new Modifius 2D20 system, and it was okay. Only had 2 players, which means I had to fiddle with the math a little bit. This was definitely a kick the tires sort of one shot. Like, I really liked Star Trek. I grew up watching the original series. I watched all of Next Generation. But it really wasn't like a high role play session. We were just kind of like trying to see how the system works. And I don't know, I'm definitely iffy on it. I never ran one of those 2D20 systems like that. I think, so that was my first experience with that. That might be part of it. There were some sort of fiddly, almost Fate-like aspects of it, but they weren't really solidly implemented, I thought. So you could create like a scene trait, like Smoky Hallway, like you can do in Fate. And you can use it to sort of give yourself, an advantage or counteract a detriment or give the enemy a detriment. But it seemed like it was just sort of like a bolted on thing. Like it really wasn't, in my opinion, strongly implemented into the game. And, if I were to run a Star Trek campaign, there wouldn't be a whole lot of fighting. Like I would definitely be more of the Next Generation version where it's a lot more political and social and, do you violate the Prime Directive, exploration type of thing. But there'd be some combat, because it is a role-playing game and that's part of the fun. But the combat was really slow. Part of, again, we don't know what we're doing. Fair. But it just felt kind of fiddly. And I don't know. So I didn't feel like that system was like, oh, this is what Star Trek RPG should be. So that was part of it as well. It's like, I know there's a lot of people who hate, like, let's use D&D for everything. I'm not necessarily anti that. If you like D&D and you like hacking it, then, go for it. But there wasn't anything about the system that made me think this is better as Star Trek than Fate would be, or Savage Worlds, or a hack of D&D. But that may be unfair. Again, I only played it once. I ran it, never played it before, so I was kind of figuring out myself as I went. So it may not be a fair judgment one time through, but it was okay. But I don't have like a strong desire to try it again. So Big Al seems to agree with me there about Star Trek. So apparently this is the right way to go. So for future Michael reference, if anybody's watching me later, I do want to go this way because this is how you get to the end of the game. So now I'm on the Earth level, which these coordinate to the bosses that you fight in order. So everything on this level is going to be Earth cave type monsters that I fought when I went to the Earth cave and fought the vampire the first time, and then the first actual boss. The next level is the fire one, and then it goes to water. So basically, we're going through the levels again. Again, that might be just sort of unfair, but that's just the way it felt to me. I'm definitely interested in trying more 2D20 games. Well, see, here's my problem with 2D20 games. At least I played this one. I don't know if they're all the same. I dislike rolling under. Just a thing about me, just not what I like to do. So I know it's dumb. Okay, I know it's dumb. I don't want anybody to think I'm being dumb and I don't realize it. I know I'm being dumb. For example, Powered by the Apocalypse games. I do not like rolling 2d6s. There's nothing fun about that. When I roll a d20 and I get a 20, that is awesome. When I roll 2d6s and get a 12, doesn't do as much for me. I know the game lets me do cool things, but there's no visceral, real-world excitement for me to do that. It's just not fun. So the last time I ran a PBTA game, I modified the math and rolled 2d12s instead, because everyone knows I love d12s. So everything stayed exactly the same. The ranges were all exactly the same. Mathematically, it worked the same, except I like rolling 2d12s because I think it's more fun. So when I played the Star Trek game, everything's a roll under. You have 2 stats that you combine to give you your target number. So the higher your numbers, the better, because then you want to roll under them. And if you roll a 1, it counts as multiple successes. 100%, if I were to run a campaign or even do like an extended 3-shot of this game, we would reverse that. And we would go, oh, okay, we need a 15 or less. So actually we need a 6 or higher. And I would just change it and have you roll over, because there's nothing fun for me about rolling a D20, getting a 20 and being like, oh, that's the worst possible thing. No, when you roll a D20, you get a 20, that should be the most exciting thing. So again, I know it's dumb. I'm not saying it's not, but that is exactly how I would handle those games. I don't want to roll under, just period. Same thing. I've ran some percentiles before, and I just gave people the opportunity, the option. You know, if you have a 97% chance, you can either roll 97 and under or 4 and higher. You pick, and I would always pick over, because I don't know. There's just this weird thing to me about rolling low that doesn't make sense. Yeah, again, I think that can be said for almost every system, Big Al, is that the GM, I'm of two minds about it. But I think that a good GM just can make a game more fun. And and that's not necessarily a negative thing, but no matter how good the system is, a bad GM is going to make it a worse game. Not a bad game maybe, but not as much fun. And a bad system with a good GM will be a lot of fun. So if you had a good GM, and good can just be they're good at running games and interacting and social, making decisions, making things exciting, good facilitator, or maybe they know that system really well and they're better able to run it than me, who's reading it as we go. It's definitely going to be better. At least it should be better, I would think. But my next one shot that I'm looking to run is Forbidden Lands. So again, I don't know how many people are watching. There might be people who are checking us out but not chatting. If you are doing that, you're welcome to hang out. I like it when people chat with me, because that's, to me, more interesting than maybe the game we're playing. But I don't want anyone to feel like obligated. If you just want to lurk, you're welcome to lurk. But if you want to say hi in chat, I'd appreciate it. But is anybody that's currently in chat, have you played Forbidden Lands yet? Are you familiar with that system at all? These cup holders are really tight on this table, and then once I get my drink in, it's hard to get it out. Excuse me. All right, so both of you are unfamiliar. So I bought the box set. It's like an any award-winning box set, and just me being Michael and stupid and having a catacon. I bought the box set for a catacon for me, and it's interesting. It kind of has, in a little bit like I would say, a Conan feel, where you're not necessarily playing heroes in this game. You are survivors, you're mercenaries, you're treasure hunters. Basically, the Forbidden Lands, there's a whole backstory to it, but essentially there's this place that's really dangerous, and no one's gone there for X years. It might be 100, might be 1,000, I don't remember. But suddenly it's now available again. It's open. So there's just this sudden rush of people wanting to go and explore this previously forbidden land, because it's full of treasure and resources. So you're playing more opportunistic people, not like, let's go save people. And that's definitely just an interesting and different take. Generally, when I play D&D, we play heroes. We're there to save people and do the right thing and fight evil. This game, just baseline, that's not what this is about. And it does one thing, and I'm still digging into the mechanics. The quick start rules are free. If you go to Modificus's website, or not, sorry, Modificus, this is Free League. If you go to their website, the quick start rules, which is like a 150-page PDF, totally free. And it comes with pre-gens and an adventure, which is what I'm going to be running for the one shot. It does something that I've actually kind of been interested in trying myself in some of my tinkering game designing, is you roll different color D6s, because it depends on where the D6 comes from. So like if you have, so let's say you're going to climb something. You have a climbing skill. It's a numerical value. Let's say it's 3. And this is what I think based off of what I've read. I could be wrong. You would get 3 D6s from your skills. You also have like an agility stat that you're going to use. I think it's agility. It could be strength. I think it's agility. Let's say that's 2. You get 2d6s because of your agility. Then let's say you have an item like rope or a grappling hook that you're using to climb. You get a number of d6s based off of your item. So you roll one giant pool looking for successes, but the numbers come from natural ability, training, and then assets or gear that helps you. And then if you roll like failures, you can look to see what happened. Did you fail because your natural ability wasn't up to the task? Did you fail because your skill wasn't up to the task? Or did you fail because your gear failed? And I think that's kind of an interesting way to do things. And then it also has things like, let's say you critically fail and your gear, you roll the critical failure. That may mean you broke it and it's actually gone. Your weapons can get dull. So if you roll enough failures on your weapon, then your weapon breaks. You can repair it, but if you fail to repair, then it's broken. And I just think that's interesting. I actually think that's kind of a cool tactic, and I'm interested to digging into it a little bit further and seeing how that works. But I'm definitely interested in trying it out and digging in a little bit more. So I'm going to plan is to run that next Thursday. So if you're on the Discord and you want to sign up for that game right now, no one has signed up, but that's the plan. So hopefully I'll get enough players interested so I can justify the amount of time I'm going to spend digging into that system. Okay, so I beat the Lich pretty easy. I use the little exploit, not really exploit, it's my strategy. You get your master black belt character high enough level, you cast haste or fast on them, and they can just about kill anything in the game. And I was able to one-shot the Lich. Won't be able to one-shot everything, but you can one-shot a lot of stuff that way. But now I'm on to level 2 of this dungeon, which is the volcano equivalent. So everything will be like fire. Basically, things we fought in the volcano will be fighting here. And I don't know how to go. So we're going to have to explore a little bit. But yeah, if you have any interest whatsoever in that game, I definitely insist go getting the free PDF. Like there's, it's free. And if you're interested, obviously on the store you can buy everything else. They just released a campaign book called The Bitter Reach, which is basically the Arctic version or Arctic area within the Forbidden Lands. And I believe Tom is going to be running that for his home group, not for the podcast, not for the stream, but that's just what they're going to start running at home. So he's really excited about that. Okay. No worries, man. I totally get it. Honestly, that's one of the reasons why I haven't been streaming is I go to bed at like 9 o'clock. Again, not to keep harping on it, but I've been losing a lot of weight. I've been trying to lose weight. I've been exercising. I walk about 3 hours every day to a hour and a half in the morning, an hour and a half at night. And by 9 o'clock, I'm pretty much close to being locked out. So I'll get in bed and I'll watch TV for a little while. But I'm probably asleep by 10:30 most nights. And my plan has been, because my kids are here, my wife is working, it makes it difficult to stream during the day. Because when I first started doing this, it was when the kids were in school. I would take them to school, and then like 9:30 every morning, I'd stream for 45 minutes or so. Basically, had the basement to myself. Wife was upstairs working, had good enough internet, and I was in solitude basically. Well, then the coronavirus, kids are now at home. Now it's summer, kids are home. So I thought, well, I'll do it at night after they go to bed, because they usually go to bed between 8 and 9 o'clock. But I can jump on. I've just been so tired. I'm not going to be able to stay awake and do it. So I'm hoping, and this is kind of the first test, can I do this during the day if I'm, a little bit selective about when? And so far, I haven't had any dropped frames. Like looking at the OBS, it seems to be running fine. So I definitely think this is a viable strategy. So we're going to try to do this. Probably go back to what I was doing before, like Monday through Friday, just try to do it for like 30 minutes, 45 minutes at a time. And we'll see how that goes. So I'd love to have you join, but I totally get that that may not work. The other thing that we could do is maybe try, because I normally do them in the evenings, but there's nothing to say I couldn't do this on a Friday during the day if people are available. I am, but I don't assume that everyone else is, or even like on a Saturday or Sunday during the day. So if no one ends up signing up for this game, I probably will look at doing an alternate time. So maybe it'll be something that fits your schedule a little bit better. Because I'd love to have you join. Play with you a couple times. I think you're good dude to have on the game. So I'd love to have you anytime I can as running a game or playing a game. And exciting news for me. This will be my quick little brag before we jump off here because I just leveled. I contacted Free League, and they're going to put me on their product review list. I'm going to start getting, not necessarily early access, but I'm going to start getting products of theirs to do some more reviews. So hopefully I'll be getting the bit of reach from them soon. I also asked them for the Alien starter set because I like starter sets. It's also great for Catacon because then I can always add it in. But I'm kind of a fan. I think like every RPG should have a starter set, which seems like a lot of them now are. But I think it's cool because it's great for me when I want to try new systems. It gives me an introductory adventure, usually sort of a pared down rule set just to kind of get people started. So pretty excited about that. And obviously I've already played Alien thanks to Big Al, and you were there for that. So when it comes time to do that review, I'm already ahead of the curve. So that's exciting. I think that's it. So either of you have anything you want to chat about for a minute or two before I wrap things up here? Because otherwise I'm going to probably just finish this next fight or two and then call it a day. I know there's a little bit of a delay, so I'll wait. But if anyone is watching now or in the future, please consider joining our Discord. It's a pretty small community. Both the Foxblade and Big Al are part of it. Both of them are patrons as well. But you don't have to be a patron to join the Discord. You can just hang out, and it's not just me. So if you think I'm annoying, I'm sure people do. There are other people in there that you can talk to. We try to set up games. I'd say close to once a week now. Somebody's trying to organize something, so you can jump into games, various systems and stuff like that. But still, always a good time. And we'd love to have more people hang out with us. Love to have more people join the Patreon too, but hey, beggars can't be choosers, all that kind of stuff. All right, so here we go. We'll finish this battle and then we'll jump out, which sucks because then I have to go through this one again. But like I said, I just don't think we're ready to go. And did not one shot, but two of them together was able to take her out. So there we go. All right, so we'll call that there, and we'll jump out. I'll save everything, hopefully correctly this time, so I don't have to redo all of this. We are level 30? Yep. So I think level 32, I'll try to win. We'll see how far we get. If I make it, great. If not, then we'll level up a couple more levels and try again. But thank you both for watching. Anyone else that was hanging out now in the future, appreciate that as well. But this is Michael signing off.